My husband and I live way out in the beautiful Hallmark country, but internet and reception can be cantankerous. So we have Straight Talk, and we've had them for about 7 years, and I got a new phone a few months ago because my Galaxy S5 finally died and went to heaven, and I have had major problems ever since, and they have progressively got worse. So here's a little bit about my story. Verizon towers had been all bought out by AT&T out here, so Verizon reception was like near to nothing. So we needed a Straight Talk phone that would bounce off of AT&T towers, and they verified with us that we would be getting an AT&T bounce off phone. I'm struggling to get reception. I can't hardly make phone calls. My internet is super slow, and we find out that they sent us a Verizon phone instead, but told us they were sending us AT&T. And we called them several times, and they could do nothing to really help us. They just kept passing us back and forth and didn't do anything. Now all of a sudden, I'm not getting text messages. Friends and family are thinking that I'm ignoring them because I never receive them. 95% of my text messages that I am sending out won't send. They all fail. And it had progressively started getting worse and worse and worse and worse until after a factory reset that they told me to do after calling a bajillion times trying to avoid, then none of them would go through after a factory reset. I lost all my customer data that I had saved, customer conversations. Fortunately, I'm a paper person, so I had written it all down. I had applications that were sticking. Within 2 weeks of my bill cycle, my unlimited high-speed internet access that they're supposed to just kind of slow down once you use too much, they told me I had completely exhausted it and it was gone. I didn't have any more. Well, I hadn't got to do anything because the apps were sticking, and I was force stopping them, and they would just magically come back on, and I couldn't force stop it. So now I'm deleting apps because they were stuck and using up all my stuff. And this past month, my bill cycle was supposed to end on the 10th, and it would reset, so I would have my internet back and I could function with my job and working and stuff. And it didn't. One guy gave me a 17-day credit for the amount of time that I've been having trouble with text messages that he could find on their anecdotal notes. Didn't tell me that was going to reset my date for my high-speed internet to reset, so I was going to have to go another 2 weeks with no access. I'm calling a couple times, explaining to them, so you're going to make me wait another 2 weeks, even though this was supposed to be a credit to like help me out. And they would do nothing to fix it. You could just hear them rattling paper in the background and talking and literally doing nothing, and just get backing on the phone and just telling me the same thing and doing the same troubleshooting over and over and over. When I would receive a message and you get the little message notification on the top of your phone and you unlock it so that you can view it, they would completely disappear as if I had never sent it. And another freaky thing is that when I call somebody on the caller ID, my name is Kelly Pyle. I show up as Julia Mitchell. Okay, so I called yesterday to let them know, hey, I did the factory reset. None of my text messages are going through. It's actually worse than it was before I did the factory reset. And they said, well, you're going to have to wait and call from another phone because you can't call from this phone so that we can do troubleshooting. Oh, the same stupid troubleshooting that we've been doing for a month and a half. And then the guy proceeds to accuse me of using profanity. If you know me, I don't use profanity. So my response was, I don't use profanity. And I understand if like reception cracked or something and you misheard something that I said, but if you're accusing me of using profanity for your records to cover your own rear end, then we're gonna have an issue. And he immediately changed his tune and started explaining to me what I could do that could proceed me to the next step. Okay, by this time, my forehead is splitting open. There's fire coming out of my scalp. You could fry an egg on my head. And like, I'm seriously contemplating this profanity thing. Okay, so I get home and tell my husband, I can't deal with this anymore. Please, I pass the rein on. Can you please call them and see if you could get some help with this? So he calls They keep him on the phone for like an hour and 15 minutes. They're passing him back and forth from person to person to person. He's having to explain the problem over and over and over again. Each person having him do the same troubleshooting over and over and over. He's like, can you just get me to a tech specialist, please? Somebody that can help me. I don't want to have to keep doing the same troubleshooting that's not working. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. You can't talk to one. They left at 9 o'clock. They kept him on the phone for an hour and 15 minutes and waited to tell him after 9 o'clock that he couldn't talk to a tech specialist. So they set a call for the next morning and they called back, but they called before he got off work. And so he's like, call me back in an hour. They set the time to recall. They never called him back. So an hour after the time they're supposed to call, he calls them back. They schedule another call 10 minutes later, and the guy calls back. Yay! Now, this is supposed to be the tech specialist that's calling, and we have finally discovered why we're having so much trouble with Straight Talk. They have hired animals, livestock, to help with their tech specialists. We got to talk to a goat. This is my husband's phone. He has a call recorder app that records every conversation that he makes on his phone, and he called them from his phone. So the last several phone calls have been recorded on this, and I can prove to you that we got to talk to a goat. I think his name is Gene or Julia or something. He answered the phone and said that he was there to help resolve any issues that we might have, and then proceeded to speak to us in goat. I'm going to play it for you. Okay, you ready? Let's see if I can get it to play. Okay. Here we go.
Hello?
Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Hang on just a second, let me bring it up. Okay, here we go. Let me turn it up so you can hear it.
Callback that was requested. When the customer who requested this callback is on the line, press 1 to speak. Please hold while we transfer your call.
Now my husband's on the
May
phone.
be recorded for quality assurance.
Hi, this is Gene. I would like to confirm if your issue is resolved. I'm sorry, what'd you say, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Is there something wrong? I hear you, but it sounds like you're being a sheep.
You can hear me laughing in the background. It's kind of long.
Hey, sir. Hello. Did you call to help me with the phone, or? Why are you making noises like that? What's your name?
We're like sitting on the couch right now. Well, I keep laughing. Branson, I keep getting in trouble about Branson because I'm laughing in the background.
Hey, sir. Are you still there?
I know my phone's working good. Can I ask why you're doing this? Why are you making sounds like this? I know you called us. This is the callback from Straight Talk. Would you just talk, please? Tell me why you're doing this. And if you don't want to help, just tell me. What's your name? Okay. Yeah. Can I speak to your manager then? Can I speak to your manager if you're going to sit here and play games? I have a recorder on my phone, so this entire conversation is recorded. I'll be glad to go back and play it for your boss. You know?
I guess that's how he really feels.
I don't know what this guy's problem is. I mean, this is pretty lousy. I don't know why he's doing this. Yeah, I do have this entire thing recorded and date and time and everything. So, no, this right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brent, he's talking to me right now.
I mean, this guy. I mean, he's like a little lying little coward. Bah.
Branson
I
decided
don't
to
know what this guy's problem
talk in
is.
a way that maybe the dude could understand. I mean, since they hired a goat, I guess he only understands goat. I don't know. I hear you, man. That work is hard.
I don't know. I don't know what his problem is. I don't have a clue. I don't know. I don't know what his problem is. I don't have a clue. And you know he's doing it on purpose because you can tell that.
Okay, for the sake of time, this recording is like 36 minutes long. You could hear another girl talking in the background. You could hear him typing. And then all of a sudden, it like clicks off and like transfers us to someone. So we still got no tech support. We get to call back. And we like, I don't know, I can't remember if he hung up or anyways, we call back and we're like, can we talk to the manager? After several transfers, we finally get to talk to the manager, and he really doesn't give a squat. They don't really do much. He transfers us to a technical support person who then begins to do the same exact troubleshooting that they've been doing over and over and over and over and over, and nobody's getting anywhere. And then the phone just hangs up on us, and we've gotten nowhere. I have never experienced anything. It's so ridiculous. It's hilarious. I think we're gonna look at getting a new phone carrier. As if you use Straight Talk and you're having a little bit of trouble, They did admit to us on the phone one time that they get tons of calls all day long for having the same problem. I wonder if it's because they talked to Mr. Goat.